Okay. So welcome everybody. Can you see my screen? Today we are very, very fortunate to have George Lee. Now he is going to share about using hypnosis to create an accomplice in life. Now, George Lee is an organizational development specialist. He's also a training and learning specialist, resilient leadership coach. He's also an emotion coach. All right. Today, what he's going to share is the hypnosis. Many people do know that our mind can either be a big enabler or a big obstacle in our life. We are the creator of our own situations. But what is unknown to most people is that we can actually train our mind to perform to its best and unleash its maximum potential. Therefore, the power of the mind is not defined by nature, but it is a process of nurture. So this training is about hypnosis. A little bit more about George. George is a mindset and performance specialist who excel in helping clients achieve breakthroughs in their strategic mindset. He's an accredited licensed NLP trainer, hypnotherapy trainer, a timeline therapy trainer, and an NLP coaching trainer. George has served in the Singapore Army for over 24 years before retiring as a lieutenant colonel to transit into leadership training. As a military officer, he was immensely involved in areas of organizational development, example, restructuring combat and operational units, and training leaders to manage and lead these units. Since 2008, he has been passionately involved in the areas of human psychology and performance. So he specializes in identifying improvement area of the human psychology and assisting people to overcome mental barriers to reach a greater success. So as a leadership curriculum designer, George designs training programs and educate his students in areas of strategic thinking, critical analysis, and leadership building. So without much delay in time, we are going to invite George Lee to start his sharing. George.
Thanks, Veronica. Thank you so much for having me tonight, and a very warm welcome to everyone in the room. Thank you for being on time, and for those who are early, I really appreciate your presence tonight in the room. Now, before I start off, I would just like to express my gratitude to Veronica for inviting me into this very amazing group of mental and emotional wellness. So as much as we know the current pandemic that we're in, or should I call it an endemic now in Singapore, because it's called endemic, yeah. We kind of like acknowledge and admit that we cannot totally eradicate COVID, but now we have to learn to live with it. When we talk about living with COVID, and when you step out of your door, you know that there's actually danger lurking outside. There are viruses, there are people who you don't even know whether they are carrier or are they safe. How do you actually protect yourself, doing the best that you can? Because you can't really contain and stop people from doing what they do, but you definitely can do a lot within yourself to strengthen your body, to consume the right food, to live the right lifestyle, to do the correct exercises, sleep well, drink well, eat well, do whatever you can to take care of yourself so that your body can take care of its own. So tonight, I am going to share something that's very amazing about our mind and how it actually controls our body. When I say this statement, you will realize that the body is nothing but just a puppet of what the mind tells it to do. So the body, when it doesn't really follow the instruction of your mind, that's where you will find that your body starts to give you adverse reaction, maybe falling sick, having a flu, having influenza, maybe having a fever, or even having body aches, pain, and here and there. Why? Because the body is staging a revolt. It's like a revolution. It's protesting. It is going on a strike. How do you actually help your body to actually perform its function more easily so that the mind and the body works together? that's where I come in tonight, hopefully to help everyone get a little bit of knowledge in order for us to improve our mind so that the mind can do its part to improve the body. Right? So yes, and at this juncture, let me just allow me to share my slide, and I will be, yeah, good. So slideshow, okay, can everyone see my slide? Good, okay. Now you will realize that I will occasionally glance to my bottom left. It's because I have another screen that I'm facing at my bottom left, because now as a speaker on Zoom, you realize that as I'm speaking, I don't really know what you guys are doing out there. Except
But
for,
most of them don't switch on their video.
yeah, and if you don't switch on your video, I can't see you, right? So this is something as a Zoom center for years now, 2 years meaning 2020 and 2021, because the world has started to evolve into Zoom. I have learned to entertain myself. Okay, I think Veronica would have the similar experience as myself. Like sometimes when you ask question, hey, you ask anyone out there, anyone, it seems that it's all darkness. Okay, but, yeah, Zoom presenter, we have this very amazing skill set of imagining and seeing people on the other end, thinking that is listening to me. Actually, we don't know whether that's true or not. But just let our mind play with us, and this is where hypnosis comes in. Because when you're so focused and in delivering what you need to deliver, you will be totally isolated from the danger outside, from all this self-doubt, all these limiting belief that you may have. And this is where hypnosis comes in. Yeah. So forgive me if I do not face the camera, but I'm looking down to my bottom left because I'm actually looking at you. When I look at you, I look yeah. When I look here, it's I can't see you. I'm actually looking at my slide. Okay. So just a quick caveat, and also to explain, in case you say, hey, how come George so unattentive, always looking downward, always looking on his mobile phone? No. Okay, trust me, I'm 100% with you guys. It's just that I have to. This is my world. This is my world now. Yeah, Veronica will totally understand what I mean. So I'm sure in the room there are people who
Zoom
use
has
Zoom
to be
as
our
well.
friend, huh?
Yeah, Zoom is like our friend now. It's like the new world, really safe, but sometimes it is limited in a way. Yeah.
Yes.
Because the world that I see now is only a 14-inch screen. That's all. That's all I can see. So
Very virtual.
yeah, very virtual, very virtual. So our mind has to attune to this half virtual, half real world, and
Yes.
what's virtual and what's real. Okay, tonight
Yes.
that will set us to the that statement will actually set us into tonight's topic about hypnosis. So yeah, let me start. Tonight I am going to talk about this topic, using hypnosis to create an accomplice in our life. And myself, I'm George. My name is George, and I'm actually the CEO and the founder of the Mind Synergy, which is a school that pretty much concentrate and focus on working and developing a human mind, so that when the mind improves, it will work its part. It will do its part and works its best into improving the body. And you will realize that the body will then become nothing but just a puppet who listen to what the mind says. In a lot of time when we find that our body is giving up, it's actually not the body that gives up. Because lo and behold, a lot of times we will realize that our body can have so much muscle, so much energy to push on further. But it is because the mind gave up already. And when the mind gives up, the body will take its instruction. Oh, since you give up, I also give up. So it's like a teamwork. When these two players, one is the mind, the other one is the body. One of them see the other give up, the other one will also give up very, very quickly. I'm sure you will agree by the end of tonight's sharing that there are people who refuse to take death as their sentence, and they defy cancer time after time. And when the doctor said that, hey, this cancer patient should be left with 6 months to go, but they continue to live for more than 6 years and beyond. And then on the other hand, there are people who say, okay, this is only stage 1 or stage 2, maybe going to stage 3. I think with chemo, with medicine, you should be okay. But yeah, guess what? Before he actually waited for the operation to start, within 3 months, he's gone already. So there are people where you realize that their mind is so strong, even when the body gives up, right? The mind continue to push. Of course, I'm not saying that when the mind becomes stronger than the body or the body becoming stronger than the mind, either one is not good. The two has to work in balance. It has to work in synergy. So tonight I'm going to focus on the mind and more importantly on the unconscious mind so that we know how it can work with our body. Cool? All right, so let me start. Now, before I start with the presentation proper, I know it is really hard. Okay, it's a statement. Yeah, it's a statement that I tell myself it's just a consolation. As much as as hard as it is, right? I would like everybody to do your best and be interactive. What do I mean by this? Now, if you can, of course, show your face, turn on your video like Alan and Veronica, that would be really, really great for speakers like us. Yeah, but then if you have a challenge, yeah, if you have a challenge showing your face, I mean, if you're not decently dressed, you're half naked or whatever, it's all right. It's all right. We respect that. But then there's this chat box that you can actually use. So there'll be certain questions that I'll be posting during the sharing, and I will really be happy to see answers popping out from the chat box, and then that's where I will actually get to interact with you in a virtual world, but then through a non-virtual way. Okay. All right. I see some videos coming up. Thank you so much. Okay. Finally, I realized there are people other than the three of us in the
room. Nice.
Okay. Good. So yeah, that's me. I love to joke. I think life is short enough to just live it happily, and then whatever problem that you have, it is just a problem. But when you look at it from the other way, the problems are there to make us stronger, to make us deliver and discover new ways of living life better. Right? Good. So yeah, this is me, a very quick rundown of my past and my current and also my future. As what Veronica has briefly introduced myself, I am a certified hypnotherapy trainer, a master trainer. In fact, I'm a life coach and I'm also an ex-military officer. So what a master trainer does is we actually train trainer. So I will be starting my hypnosis trainers training soon, coming 2022. And that's where I will be looking at churning out trainers who then move on to certified practitioner and master practitioner. So myself, I have actually 24 years of experience in the military, in the Singapore Army to be specific, specializing in training development, leadership development, character building. And in case you do not know, the Army is the biggest user of this skill set called hypnotherapy. Okay, let me just give you a very quick question. For those who have kids, those who have boys, who have been through NS, have you ever asked yourself this question? Why all new recruits, right? The first 3 weeks, the first 21 days that we spend in the military is in BMT. And then this BMT is actually under this period called confinement. So why are we confined for 3 weeks in an environment where you do nothing but just do push-ups, sit-ups, then you turn here, turn there, run past the tree and come back? It's a way of hypnosis in action. But the Army doesn't use it, doesn't say it that way. But that's how we grill our mind. That's how we develop the mindset into achieving and having this identity of a soldier. Because a soldier has to do what a soldier does. And when a soldier dies, right, the mind doesn't die that easily. Especially when your son or some of my friends who put on the red beret, okay, those are called commandos. Commando lagi tougher. They will die, the body will die, they'll carry the body rifle, and then they continue fighting the war. Okay, so why are such people, the mindset so different from the general public, from the general population? It is because of this hypnosis, okay? Hold your question there because I know this is going to get very deep. And I'm very sure that you will have interesting questions as we go along. All right. And then, yeah, academically and in terms of education, my master's is in instructional design and technology, which I got from NIE or NTU. So I'm very much into the learning science aspect of human being, of adult. Of course, especially the diploma in learning sciences. And of course, I've got a diploma in adult continuing education. Now, those below the dotted line are something which I'm really passionate about. Okay, other than all this academic world that Singapore is really focusing on, I have a strong passion in NLP and hypnotherapy. That's where I got another diploma, certified by the ABNLP, which is American Board of Neuro-Linguistic Programming, as a certified NLP master trainer. So I train NLP trainer. ABH, American Board of Hypnotherapy, certified as a hypnotherapy master trainer as well. I am trained in timeline therapy as a trainer. So that's where I turn out practitioner in terms of timeline therapy for people to revisit their past, learn valuable lessons, and then bring them forth to the present and then forward into the future. Of course, I churn up coaches. Coaches are those who go out there and change people's lives simply by just getting and helping people to look inside themselves. Because, a lot of times the question that we bring forth, we already have the answer deep down. It's just that we don't know where to search for the answer. So coaching is an amazing field. And I actually use this skill set very intermingling and then just mixing everything together. End of the day, I'm a strong believer of what works for a person, works for a person. You don't have to use anything. If you jumbo, rojak, all mix in, good. If it works for you, it works for you, right? So that's just me. Okay, now moving forward very quickly. Okay, a very quick question. Does anyone know what this picture is showing? It is a very common and a crazy competition that is held in Singapore. Okay. Yes. So it's a Subaru challenge. Okay. This is what we call the Subaru car challenge. It's the MediaCorp Subaru car challenge to be specific. Yes. But other than this picture that you see, right? 40 people in a car. There's a total of 10 cars. So 4 people start off on a Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. Putting their hand on the car, like, wow, nothing to do. Quite aim, right? There is a very important message that I would like to drive your attention to within this picture. Would anybody like to give a guess? Where is this important message?
And the ultimate challenge of mind and body.
Fantastic. Okay, the ultimate challenge of mind and body. Now, if you look at this, people who look at participants in this challenge, they will realize that these people are tough, these people are crazy, they are very gung-ho.
No, they want to win.
Yeah. So the thing is, if you look deeper, right, actually this challenge are very easy to do, very easy to do. You just have to put your hand on the car. Who cannot put their hand on the car? I'm sure everybody can put your hand on the car, right? And then after that, do what? Then you ask, hey George, after I put my hand on the car, then what I do? Haha, this is the best part. You do nothing, lor. You just put your hand on the car and do nothing. Wow, easy, right? Damn simple, very easy. My girl also can do. Trust me, this is where it's the toughest part of the challenge. Do nothing. Getting the mind to do nothing, that's where your mind starts to play a lot of punk with you, play a lot of trick on you, and then give you a lot of weird symptom, weird hallucination, weird picture. You see different things. Sometimes people see fingers turning into hot dogs, the car turning into carriages. So the person standing beside me becomes a horse or some. So weird thing. Why? Why so? Because when a person is deprived of sleep, deprived of rest, deprived of food and water, all these basic needs, if you look at the basic needs of Maslow hierarchy, right, that's where the mind keeps on sending you different weird messages, and it is a form of hypnosis at play already. Okay, so as I start to dwell in deeper, you will realize that, hey, George, what are you talking about? Like, I go daydreaming, is it hypnosis? Trust me, the answer will come during the session over the next 45 minutes or so. Okay, so yes, the ultimate challenge of the mind and body, but this is where I came in. Okay, so if you look at this picture, this was me. It's still me. It's just that this was in 2008. All right, 2008 is 13 years ago. I was fortunate enough, or should you say, I was stubborn enough to put my hand on the car and eventually turn out to be the winner, lasting for 81 hours and 32 minutes. And I thought that, wow, this is amazing. I was so lucky. Then I realized that it is not luck. It is not luck that actually pushed me towards this. It was just, I want the car. But it's more than just that.
The persistence.
Sorry?
The persistence.
Yeah, it's the persistence, but it's really the mindset thing that really pushed me to the extreme and then beyond the limit that started me on this amazing search of what causes me to be able to do this, what allows a person to achieve success in whatever they do. Why is it that people give up, and then why this lucky George can stand there. And 2008 was the year I started to go around exploring the amazing power of the mind and how the mind affects the body. Because if you look at this, right, yeah, the body actually just had to put your hand on the car and do nothing. But a lot of the work, a lot of the duties and the function is being played by the mind. And the mind, as I start to dive in deeper, you realize that there's two parts of our mind that we're going to talk about today, specifically the unconscious part of it, that actually allows us to function normally as a person. And if we function abnormally as a person, right, one of the highly likely possible reason is because the mind has started to go malfunction. Okay, and this is me in 2008. But I didn't stop there. So in 2012, I again joined a challenge called the Cost Challenge with two of my friends. So together as a team, the three of us, we won some vouchers, okay, 36,000, where eventually each of us took away 12,000 each. And then I bought a lot of things, okay, sofa lah, TV, laptop lah, baking machine lah, oven lah. But a lot of things wasn't belong to me, it belongs to my wife because she owns the kitchen. I only had a laptop. But again, this was another feat of where I actually applied my mindset, my mental strength very, very successfully, very, very positively. And I thought, okay, 2008 one time, 2012 one time, okay, that should be it. But then I continue on in 2015. So 2015, if you remember, there is this game show called Minute to Win It. The host is Brian Wong. That's where I saw, you know who's Brian? You know which one is me? Okay, the one in black. This one, you see, okay, this one, this person, not me. This one is Brian Wong, okay, Wang Lujiang. I'm the one that is holding his hand. I'm the one in purple, okay. But you can see the two quite handsome lah. okay, a bit okay. Anyway, that's a joke. So in 2015, I joined the game show again, and this game show is different. This one needs people to be hyper at times, but then you need to be slow at times, really depending on what the game rules require to do. And with that, that's where I also successfully apply the skill set of hypno, knowing that my mind is the key controller of what the body has to do or is doing uncontrollably. That's where I actually can achieve maximum result within that 60 seconds, right? And I turned out to be one of the biggest winner to walk away with 15,000 cash. This is 2015.
Wow, shook, man.
Yeah, it seems like George do nothing. I just play game, and then can win money. Yeah, I hope so. So if only I can join the Super Challenge every year, I'll go back and win 85,000, 90,000 is okay. And then car getting more and more expensive. Furthermore, now they throw in COE, our lagi better. I'll be earning like 130,000. But too bad they banned the past year winner, so I can only go there as a supporter. But not to worry. Why so? Because those journey of mine previously in 2008, 2012, and 2015 actually set me on this amazing search of how do we maximize the mind? How do we improve the mind? Because the mind is something that's already given to us. When we are all born, we all have it. But along the way, remember I said it is not a process of nature. It is a process of nurture. Those who have a negative mindset, those who don't have a strong one, it's because the process hasn't been developing the person well and strong enough. Now, the moment you realize that this is actually a process that can be changed, you will then start to take note of it and then build yourself. And trust me, people who are strong in mind, even if they're down with illnesses, even if they're down with touch wood, okay, COVID, they will be able to recover from it much easier as compared to someone who has a negative mindset. Okay, I'm sure you agree with me. Between two cancer patients, the one with a stronger and a more positive attitude will be more prone to recovery. His body will be able to accept and receive the medicine, the chemo processes, the operation, much, much better than one who's like always down, always negative, always very pessimistic. Okay, so before your body can improve, you have to improve the mind first. So with that, let me start into introducing what hypnosis is about. Now, tonight's session is going to be a very interactive, a fun one, and also, but it's kind of brief because in a short 1 hour, it's very hard to talk about this amazing part of our body called the mind and how it can actually bring forth the kind of result, whatever result you want, be it happiness, be it wealth, be it richness, whatever you want in your life, it is controlled by your mind. And forgive me if this sounds offensive, but even the bad things in our life, sometimes it's because our mind unconsciously actually asks for it. We send out messages and then somehow, you ask for it, so the universe, the world just give it back to you. Okay, then you start blaming people. That's why my wife sometimes tell me, when you change the way you look at things, right, the things you look at will change. So my wife becomes my teacher. Yeah. But you know how husband and wife always work. When the wife tell the husband never listen one. When the husband tell the wife never listen one. That's why we are called husband and wife. Okay.
That's why
we're still married and then we always quarrel almost on a daily basis. That's how we communicate. But yes, so introducing hypnosis, that's what we're going to talk about today. And I'm going to share how do we use hypnosis, more importantly, utilize the unconscious side of our mind to create an accomplice in our life. Okay, why I use the word accomplice is this. Now, if your unconscious mind works with you, you have gotten yourself a very capable working partner. But on the contrary, if it's not working with you, that means it is working against you. So whatever you do, if you have someone that's always fighting with you, and that person, you cannot prevent it because that person hides inside you, I tell you, your life will be always going on a downhill. So once you understand that, you will be able to realize that, okay, rather than blaming other people, blaming the world, blaming the outside part of my environment, let's start the change from inside. Good. Now, looking at this picture, I'm sure every one of us know what is Pixar. Okay, Pixar is an animation studio. It produces movies, cartoons. Okay, why do I bring on Pixar? I love Pixar movies, especially a couple of the cartoons, which is very, very meaningful. Over here, I will show you, or I will just remind you of two movies. Now, I'm sure some of us have watched these two movies before, but they are a very good example and a good description of how the mind works. More importantly, in terms of how the unconscious mind works with the conscious mind. The first one is Inside Out. Okay, I'm not sure how many of us in the room has actually seen this cartoon. It is a movie that was produced in 2015. Inside Out, it is about this little girl called Riley, and then her 5 emotions. Right, there's greed, there's sadness, there's anger, there's happiness, and how these emotions actually talk to one another. Right, and then how it resulted in Riley feeling happy or feeling sad. Riley is just a small little girl. Okay, but after I watched this movie, I could really use this. I said, wow, this movie has so simply presented how hypnosis works in a person's mind. Okay, so for those who have not seen this cartoon, by all means, just find your way. And then I'm sure on Netflix you can see this. And it's a short little 90-minute show, but you will be able to recap on how your mind works and what hypnosis does to your mind to let it work the way it does. Second movie is this movie called Soul. Okay, Soul is a pretty new movie. It was produced just last year in 2020. It is about a person who died, and then he has some unwanted wish that he left behind in the human world. Okay, and then he always tried to get back, but he hasn't really died yet. Okay, so very, very interesting movie. It is this part about the ones that we want in our life, which is lying inside our unconscious mind, but consciously we just intentionally suppress it. We suppress it, and then that's how depression actually starts happening, right? So once you know that any form of repression of your emotion, of your feeling, that is like trying to break out from your unconscious mind, right? And then your conscious mind says, hey, diam la, keep quiet, just go back down. You will realize that you are actually slowly building up all this negative emotion. And when all these negative emotion have no way to be portrayed out emotionally, they will start to create pains and body through your physical manner. Okay, so that's where you like back ache, shoulder ache, neck ache, whatever. Because sometimes it's a compilation and an accumulation of your negative emotion. Good. Yes. Now, why do we talk about hypnosis, and how does hypnosis comes into the part of our life? Now, if you can look at this iceberg, right? Let me just adjust my screen a little bit. Okay. Now, if you look at this iceberg, above the water, we can see this top of the ice, which is what we call the 10% of the ice. This is what we term as the conscious mind. When we talk about a conscious mind, I usually use NLP. So NLP is like neuro-linguistic programming. It's words. These are words that we talk to people. And then when we talk to people, people are conscious about the words that we ask them, about the way we ask them, about the question we are asking. And then they will answer us consciously and give us the answer. So this is the conscious mind. But do you know that behind all these conscious questions, there's a huge 90% that is underneath the water, which is actually controlled and being managed by this part of your mind called the unconscious mind. Some of us know it as the subconscious mind. It's just, so for tonight's presentation, just take it as the two actually mean the same. Unconscious means subconscious, subconscious means unconscious. Technically, it is just the way that my school is being taught, and then it's just a terminology difference, but pretty much we are referring to the same thing. The questions that we are asking consciously, behind the question, if you look and listen deeper within the words, you will be able to find out what is this person intent when he or she is asking me this question. What does he actually want? This is where coaches come in really, really effective, because when we ask certain questions, when we get certain answer, for example, myself, when I ask a particular question, I get the answer. A lot of time I realize that the answer that they're giving is not the true answer. What they want is actually hidden underneath the answer. So I read deeper into their unconscious mind, what they want. And then I realize that's why a lot of time the second question or the second answer I give back to them start to make people cry, because they have never realized that this is actually what they want. Until George replied that, hey, really, this is what I want? Are you sure? And then they started crying. Okay, of course, I don't go around making people cry. It's just that their emotion has been repressed for so long. When they speak to me, they suddenly, wow, finally someone understands what I really want in my life. And a lot of time, the people that I speak to, they don't even know what they themselves want. It needs another second person to come into their life and point them to the right direction. So that is hypnosis. And this is the part that we're going to spend the next 30 minutes or so explaining, going through, and of course, I would love questions to come during the way or even at the end of the presentation. Now, last but not least, timeline therapy, I'm just going to go through this very quickly. It is just a skill set that spans between the conscious mind and the unconscious mind. So when we talk about timeline, for example, some of the clients or the students that I talk to, as I ask them, how were your growing up years like? And then when they think about when they were 5 years old, 8 years old, then they started crying again. The part about people crying, it lies in the unconscious part of the mind. It is the function of the UM. Okay, the UM meaning the unconscious mind. The thinking process is a conscious act, but the emotion that comes along is an unconscious act. It's like when we are presenting. Why do people before a big presentation start to get nervous? You know that, okay, I've gone through all the rehearsal, I am all good, I'm all prepared, I've rehearsed this for the past 3 nights. But then when I go up the stage, suddenly, my legs start to shiver, and then my cold sweat start to come out. Why so? Because these are emotion. The emotion is a part which is uncontrollably just being presented out by your unconscious mind. Because why? It sends a little bit of fear. As compared to someone else who's been well trained, this person doesn't have fear, despite the two of them doing the same thing. For example, I was in the military, right? Yeah, we're all going to die. We're all going to die. Some people are scared of dying. Some people, wow, die for the country, let's go. Then they then so on. So why do people do the same thing but have two different kind of emotion? It is really a process of training and nurturing, right? Okay, this is going to get very broad, and which I'm not going to do so. But I just want to highlight an important point to everyone in the room here, the history of hypnosis. Now, if you look at the timeline or look way back, I'm not even starting from 2021. Okay, I'll just highlight to you the part where it says 1964. All right, A.M. Krasner and then Leslie Lacron. So this is the period where hypnosis starts to expand out. Okay, start to expand out into NLP and also to timeline therapy. But if you were to track back all the way to where hypnosis actually started, it actually starts in the 1500s. Now, I'm not sure where we are in the 1500s. Maybe we are dinosaurs, maybe we are, I don't know. Okay, but in the good old days, the early generation of people, the early human beings are already using hypnosis as a form of replacement in terms of medicine. Now, if you look at 1500s, medicine is not so advanced yet, but there are people who actually live through pandemics, viruses, diseases. Why do people still continue to live on today? Because a lot of times hypnosis or what I call the strength of the mind is actually the antidote to a lot of diseases that is just floating around right now outside. And what we realize is if the mind can work so strongly, the body will not feel pain. It wouldn't feel pain, it wouldn't feel sick, it wouldn't feel discomfort at all. It's just like how now in today's context, hypnosis is actually used in childbirth. I'm not sure if you guys heard of this term called hypnobirth. Some of my friends, they come to me preparing for childbirth. Hey, okay, don't get me wrong. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a missy. I'm not a nurse. I'm not a midwife. I'm just someone who loves to train the mind so that when the mother goes into the delivery ward, right, she will feel all confident instead of feeling, wow, the baby going to come out, so painful. I've seen childbirth 3 times. I'm a father of 3. And my wife isn't the hypnobirth. She said, wow, give me all the medicine, give me all the happy guys, and epidural, everything. She just wants the pain to be lesser and lesser. But for those more traditional friend of mine, mom-to-be, they really want to experience childbirth in a traditional, in a natural way. So no laughing gas, no epidural, no nothing, everything pure nature. Unless, of course, a complication happen, but a lot of them, they actually love the process. And of course, before they actually step into the delivery ward, a lot of mind working, mind training has to be done leading to the EDD date. And it can be done because hypnosis is exactly the solution or the method. It's one of the methods to help a person strengthen their mind. And this starts all the way from 1500s. If you look at hypnosis combined with NLP, for those who actually study psychology, very famous people like Carl Jung, Sigmund Freud. These are Sigmund Freud or Freud. Okay, these are the very, very famous names that we actually adopt their psychological theory and adopt it into hypnosis and NLP. Right? This is a very quick history. I'm not going to bore people with this. But what's going to get interesting is from here on, we are going to debunk some myth. We're going to debunk some myth about hypnosis. And I would like everybody to come in with an open mind approach, knowing that hypnosis is not something that's like unorthodox, some Satan thing. I just swing some pendulum in front of you, some pocket watch, and then you will start to go into trance, start to go into dizziness, and then no. Okay, it's not like that. When you realize after tonight's sharing, you will realize that all of us in the room have been hypnotized before without you knowing. That's why it's called hypnosis. Okay, so let me just share, or let me ask this question. Have you been hypnotized before, and when? Okay, would anyone like to just type in the chat box, or you can even unmute yourself, share an experience which you think you have been hypnotized before? Anyone?
Hi, this is Jess.
Jess, yes.
I don't know whether this is considered hypnotized, but when you're watching those Korean show, then you get so emotional.
Korean show, right? Yes. Correct. So watching show, that's a very, very common situation where someone gets hypnotized. Okay, when you're watching a show, like what Jess had mentioned, for me, I'll use the example of, let's say, Marvel, the Endgame, or if you're Iron Man, you're Superman, or Spider-Man, for example. Now, when you're in the show, when you're in the movie theater, when you see Spider-Man swing his arm out, you will know that spider web will come out from his wrist, and then he'll be able to swing from building to building. in a show like that, you will never think that it is illogical for Spider-Man to swing his hand and then spiderweb come out from his hand. Okay, it is perfectly logical. This is a state of trance already, because your mind has actually installed certain or taken certain set of rules or what we call belief that this is all okay to happen in that environment. But then when you step out of the theater, you get back to the real world. This is where I'm going to shift you into a very confusing position. What is real and what is not real? In the movie, it seems like, hey, you swing the hand, spiderweb come out. It's real one. But when you step out from a movie theater, you swing the hand, spiderweb come out, become very unreal. So spiderweb won't come out one. Okay, because of this exact effect of what we call the critical faculty. Okay, now let me share with you this very simple analogy. Assuming this red ball is our mind. It is our mind, and this mind is divided into the top part and the bottom part. The top part is called the conscious mind, and the bottom half is called the unconscious mind. Actually, it's not half. I would use this as a symbol of the iceberg. So the conscious mind actually is about 10%. The unconscious mind is 90%. And it controls so much more function than the conscious mind. Trust me, the question I'm going to pose to you guys in the room, you will realize that your unconscious mind is so much more powerful than the conscious mind, that despite you knowing that logically I should be doing this, but then unconsciously or uncontrollably, everything just break out. It just break out without me being in control, and everything just go haywire. In a logical state, or what we call a waking state, the conscious mind and the unconscious mind is clearly separated between the top and the bottom by this line called the CF line, or in full is called the critical faculty line. I'll just call it CF line for short. All right. This is where we are awake. Now, when we are awake in this state of alpha, we exactly know what we are doing. We know that we know who we are talking to. We know what kind of answer we need to say. For example, if you're talking to the boss, right? Even if you hate your boss, you wouldn't say, "Hey, boss, I hate you." You will just give the answer using your conscious mind, top half. Then all these negative emotion, or all this anger, song, all this bitterness, you just keep it deep down. You just keep it deep down, because this CF line is really, really solid. It separates what is unconscious and versus what is conscious. However, when you're able to go into a hypnotic state, or what we call a trance, this is where the CF line is totally dissolved and your unconscious mind comes in to mix around with your conscious mind. I'll say that again. The messages that is in your unconscious mind comes up and mix around with your conscious mind, and then start to give it weird pictures, start to see different things, start to see weird things, some illogical thing. You may call it illogical, okay? Because in the real world, such things wouldn't seem logical. However, in the movie theater, hey, Spider-Man swing his hand, spiderweb come out. Perfectly logical, eh? Swing from building to building, perfectly logical. Am I right to say that? So, what are the times where you go into a hypnotic state, or when you go into a trance? Every one of us have been through that. In fact, it happens every day, or should I say every night, every night. When you go to sleep, your unconscious mind take over your conscious mind. Where does your conscious mind go? Go to rest, once your conscious mind go to sleep, it will do nothing. But then that's where the unconscious mind have the opportunity to come out and take over the space, and then start to give it weird things. Okay, weird or correct, depending on what you feed it. Okay, it's just a machine. Whatever you throw to it in the daytime, it will just regurgitate, throw out during nighttime. Because nighttime, when you go to sleep, it's like the policeman not around already. I'm the criminal, right? I come out and play. It's my playground. Oh, there's no control, there's no barrier. That's why in your dream, everything seems so real, and everything may seem so illogical. Okay, so this is where we are hypnotized. For those people who can have a very clean and easy sleep throughout the night, that's good, because during the day you tell good things to your conscious mind, to your unconscious mind. However, if you always have nightmare, if you always have weird dreams, you can't really sleep well. Despite you sleeping, I mean, your body is on the bed, you are not moving. Yes, you are sleeping, but your mind is so active. at the end of the day, at the end of the sleep, when you wake up in the morning, right, you won't feel great. You will feel like really lethargic. You'll feel tired, and then you'll just be draggy, be very grouchy throughout the rest of the day. Because sleep is very important. I'm sure all of us in the room understand and realize that. Now, when you don't get the sleep, it's because the mind is not cooperative. Meaning to say the unconscious mind is not cooperative. Okay, and there are people who die in their sleep. Why? Because unconscious mind already, totally protest, stop breathing, stop growing, stop everything. So heart stop, lungs stop, everything stop. That's why people die in their sleep. Okay, now this will happen one day to all of us. Okay, I'll stop here. Anyway, this is where the unconscious mind, while we can train it, use it to the best of its ability, because this is the part, this is the player that's going to help us achieve so much more amazing result. So end of the day, hypnosis is really about controlling this CF line. What is this CF line? The critical faculty line is that part of you that cares to distinguish between what's reality and what's fantasy. There are people who are literally living in the real world, but always in the fantasy land. Okay, I'm talking about people who are gamers, okay, gamers, movie producer, actors. They are always in the fantasy, they're always in trance. Why? Because the world that they fantasize in is their real world. People who tell them, yeah, you can't do this, you can't do that. Okay, that is fantasy. I think I can do this. I really want to do it. This is my real world. Right? So you choose and decide where you want to stand in. What is your reality? What is your fantasy? It may not be the same as other people. Cool? Okay, so very quickly, if you look at it, what is the unconscious mind responsible for? For example, sleeping, dreaming. Okay, it's also responsible for your body function, sweating, your hair growing long, your nails growing long, you growing fat, even your metabolism rate, burning fats, how your metabolism actually works. All these are a function of your unconscious mind. Emotion, this is very important. If you feel depressed, if you feel happy, whenever you feel anger, sadness, you feel fearful, you feel hurt, guilty, disappointed, whatever, these are all a culprit of your, the is the main culprit, okay? It's playing trick on you. If you want to feel happy, of course, it's a good thing. There are people, despite in a problematic situation, they feel happy, they feel confident. On the contrary, there are people, if their life are all okay, then suddenly they feel depressed. They cry for no reason. Okay, trust me, I've been in this life for long enough. I know that people who just simply like to cry, okay, for no good reason. And I probably wouldn't encourage that, yeah. Of course, your unconscious mind store memories, short-term memories, long-term memories, it's all stored in the unconscious mind. The only thing is when you want to hook it up consciously, that's where it becomes your answer, your conscious answer. But during the storage, it lies in your UM. Habits is a function of your unconscious mind. Okay, waking up early, waking up late, sleeping early, sleeping late, your UM is totally responsible. So if you want to change that, get your UM to work with you. Of course, there are techniques, yeah, there are techniques. That's why we do hypnosis. Your values and your belief, these are stored in your unconscious mind, and so much more. Your heartbeat, your lungs functioning, your I don't know what else, what other organs. Okay, every organ part is controlled by your unconscious mind. Because imagine if you're consciously telling your heart, okay, pump, breathing, you're breathing, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Like that, your conscious mind, what we call sibei boing. Okay, I cannot think of anything else. Just tell my heart, tell my heart to breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. You won't have time for other things. You leave it to the unconscious mind because the 90% is so much more powerful. Yeah. Good. Let me move on. Now, very quick test. Okay, gentlemen, ladies, I would like you to look at this picture. Okay, and then listen to me. What I'm going to tell you, just follow. Don't think of this blue tree. Okay, don't think of this blue tree. Look at this blue tree. Don't think of this blue tree. Don't think of this blue tree. Don't think of 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 this blue tree. Don't think of this blue tree. Don't think of this blue tree. There's no blue tree. Don't think of this blue tree. What are you thinking of right now? Blue tree, right? Okay. A lot of I would say about 65 to 75% of the room will be thinking of blue tree. As I'm telling you not to think of blue tree. Why? Because your unconscious mind is the part that you're using to think of. As you look at the tree, very, very instantaneously, you think of a blue tree. Then suddenly, George tells you, don't think of a blue tree. If you are conscious at that point in time, then that's where you will shift. You will shift to, oh, maybe I think of a black tree, maybe think of a yellow tree. But a lot of times the first instinct is the blue tree, despite the verbal instruction is tell you not to think of a blue tree. Yeah. So for parents in the room, you will realize that as you are parenting your kids, right? They tell, boy, don't run now. And then the boy run faster. Hey, you don't fail. Make sure you study hard. Don't fail your exam. Then my girl come back, always fail exam. So this is what we call positive languaging. It is a skill set because when you tell the kid, they are listening with the unconscious mind. They are not listening with consciously. Consciously, they know they need to study hard, but unconsciously, they say, fail, because daddy say don't fail now. They only capture the word fail. Cool? Okay, so very quickly, let us do a simple test. Okay, good. I'm just going to invite everybody, before I start the test, it's a very simple thing. I'm going to play a simple soft music background, and I would like everyone to, if you can, just hold up your hand in front of you like that, and then after that, I'll be giving you instruction. Okay, I'll be giving you instruction. Good, so let me just play my music first. Okay, everyone can hear the music, yeah? Okay, I'm just going to soften the music a little bit so that you can hear the music background and you can hear my voice. All good? All right. So what's going to happen is, can I invite everybody to stretch out your hand in front of you, just like what I'm doing now, okay? And then turn your right hand, right palm facing upwards. Okay, so right palm facing up, and your left palm facing down. Okay, and then with that, I would like to invite you to close your eyes. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in, breathe in, and breathe out. Second breath, breathe in, and breathe out. For the third time, focus on the breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay, I want you to continue this rate and this way of breathing. And I want you to start imagine. Imagine that I am coming forward to you. I'm going to put a very, very heavy dictionary on your right hand. This heavy dictionary is going to push your right hand down, down, down. It's pushing it so down, so heavy. You can feel the weight of the dictionary pushing your right hand downwards and downward and downward. Now at the same time, I'm going to tie a balloon filled with helium on your left hand, and you feel your left hand being so light, so light, so light. Then it starts to go higher, higher, higher. I'm tying a second balloon full of helium. Left hand goes higher, higher, higher. It feels so light, so light, so high, so light and so high. Now go back to your right hand. You feel the weight of the dictionary. It's going lower, lower, lower. You feel the weight. It's so heavy. It is so, so heavy. All right. Now at this juncture, can I invite you to open up your eyes and take a look at both your hands, your left and the right hand. Do you realize that there's a gap between the two? You realize a small little gap. Some of us may actually have a very big gap, as much as like that. Some are depending on how suggestible you are. All right, I'm just going to stop the music here, and very quickly I will explain what we actually went through. Good. Okay, no. Great. So what we did earlier on, a very quick one.
No, Bon, my hands are parallel.
No, yeah, go.
Sorry, still parallel.
Yeah.
Anyone with the hand that is already separated? Anyone? You can actually pump in the chat or you can raise up your hand.
Very separated.
No,
Yes,
mine
okay.
is still
Cheng
the
has
same.
Cheng hands is up, right? Cheng is up. Okay, I'm looking downward because that's where I see your. Cheng is up. Okay. Anyone else with your hands up and down already? Or those of you who are still at parallel, the hand never move one.
Yeah, my hands never move.
Derek, your hand never move, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. That means you are thinking consciously. Cheng, your hand move, is it? Cheng, your hand move? Can you unmute yourself and then you?
Yes.
How wide was it? How far apart were they?
In fact, I just relax and then I just listen to your voice. So so it's quite a wide
Quite a wide gap, right?
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Now, good. So we have Derek whose hand cannot move, and then we have Cheng whose hand actually moved very far apart. Now, for those of you, it's either one of the two, lah. Okay, trust me, you are either with Cheng or you're either with Derek. And guys, don't feel angry. Don't feel angry when I say this. It's perfectly okay if your hand don't move, or it's perfectly okay when your hand move. Okay, what we did, Xiong Chun, your hand move as well, is it? Xiong Chun?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Xiong Chun, your hand also went far apart, lah. Huh?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, good. Thanks for playing the game. Let me just explain. This is the explanation part. So, Derek, don't angry first. Joto mate. It's nothing wrong with you. Neither nothing wrong. There's also nothing wrong with Xiong Chun and Cheng. All of us are perfect, normal human being. What Xiong Chun and Cheng actually did was just utilize the unconscious mind of their mind, the unconscious part of their mind, to help them achieve that result of giving a part. For those of us who are not that receptive, in the hypno world, we call it suggestible. In layman, okay, it's not exactly the same, but some people say we are gullible, okay, but it's not gullible. It is because we allow the CF line to dissolve from our real world in order for us to perform what we need to perform, bringing out the confidence, the guts to pursue what we want in life. Okay, so for those who are able to see the gap in front, it's because we are more suggestible than those people whose hands are actually stationary and who hasn't moved. Now, if you ask me, so does that mean that I cannot be hypnotized? Okay, the answer is no. The answer is no. Why? Because everyone can be hypnotized. Everyone and anyone can be hypnotized. So what is hypnosis? It is just purely a simple act of following instruction unconsciously. The keyword here is follow instruction unconsciously. Now, if you were to say this, then how does it help me in my life? Okay, I'm going to explain to you in subsequent slide. But this is pretty much what hypnotherapy is about. It's about dissolving the CF line so that we do actions unconsciously. Okay, and it includes healing our body as well. Because healing your body is not a conscious act, guys. Healing your body is a very natural and unconscious act. Getting to sleep is an unconscious act. How do you consciously tell yourself, hey, go to sleep? It doesn't work that way, right? You have to, the more stressed you are consciously telling yourself, hey, go to sleep, the more you
can't sleep.
Yeah, the more you can't sleep. But when you have different things like what Energia is bringing forth, all these equipment, all these energetic instrument, it helps us believe that these things are going to help us. And that belief is actually what works together with the instrument for us to get to sleep. So it is not an instrument only. It is not a mind only. It is a synergistic, it's a synergy that the two works together. Okay. Now, I'm very sure Veronica will say that her equipment will also work differently. Different individual will have different results. True? Yes. Because the person's belief system is different. You cannot say that, hey, you use this 6 hour, 8 hour a day, confirm you have this result. No equipment will give you that. Even doctors cannot promise you that. Why? Because the efficacy, the efficiency percentage or ratio of any medicine has to work hand in hand with the person's belief system. And where is belief? Belief lies inside the person's unconscious mind. Okay, so this is why it's so amazing, because you can give the person the best tool, the best weapon. It's not going to work for them, okay, because they're always consciously fighting. So sometimes you just have to slow down and let your do its work. All right. So yeah, this is now some myth about hypnosis. Hypno is not sleep. It's not sleep. It is not unconsciousness. It is not being gullible. It is not being weak-minded. It is definitely not being controlled by someone else. It is not a loss of self-control. It's not all this. What exactly is hypnosis? Hypno is an awake state. It is an awake state, but it is a awake but relaxed state. It is the state of relaxation. Like what Ching said, just relax and listen to the voice. Let your body follow the verbal instruction. It is a state of relaxation. It is this ability to imagine, right? Albert Einstein said, logic brings us from point A to point B, but imagination brings us around the world. Okay, if you can imagine, you can go anywhere. A lot of things that happen in real life, first time it happened is someone else's imagination first. Okay, if someone else hasn't imagined this, we wouldn't have it in real world. Okay, look at your iPhone, look at your laptop, look at the aircraft, look at COVID vaccine, look at whatever it is, because someone actually imagined it first in their mind. And at the point of imagination, it isn't real, no? What is this person doing? He is actually using his unconscious part of the mind to do good for the world outside. So someone else's imagination becomes another person's reality. Okay, I hope I'm not confusing you guys here, but it is really that amazing power of what imagination brings forth to the world. Hypno is an exercise for the mind. It helps us exercise, keep us healthy, keep us mentally sane. Now, mentally sane or mentally insane, it depends on where you draw the CF line. And it is building rapport with your unconscious mind. Hypnosis is really about the ultimate display of control. Now, if you can control your unconscious mind as well, wouldn't you be so much more in control, so much more in power of your own emotional state, of your own action, even in terms of your own body healing ability? Okay, there are people like, there are cancer friends of mine who've been through cancer, not once, not twice, but 3 times, but they're still surviving. They're still full of drive. They still have big love for their life, always making full use of every second, every minute of their life, because they know it's going to end anytime soon. But until that day comes, they are not willing to give up. Why? Because the mind is so strong, right? I am not talking about myself, but I'm just saying that the mind can do so much more wonder for the world out there, provided we all notice how important and how easy it is to let it work for us. So what does hypnosis do for you and me? Okay, a long list, and the list go on and on. Addiction, it is a hypnotic process. Quit smoking, hypnotic process. Performance enhancement, people who are sports people. Joseph Schooling, when he won the 100 meters butterfly for Singapore in 2016 Olympic, he's perfectly and totally in trance, okay, because he only see himself winning the gold. Performance enhancement, pain control, hypnobirth, right? Managing fears and nervousness, weight loss, overeating. Now, these are all habits. These are all habits which can be eradicated and or should I say lightened via the process of hypnotherapy. Removal of bad habits, for example, nail biting. I'm not sure if you know hair pulling. It is some habits for some poor girls out there. Okay, because of some stress, they start pulling their own hair. Stress reduction, that is exactly what hypno can do for people. Improve relationship, improve sleep disorder. Well, because sleeping is a hypnotic, it is an unconscious mind effort, function, right? So hypno helps to talk to it, get it to sleep well. And with all this equipment that we have, it works really, really well. It helps to expedite and bring the result to you exponentially. And of course, self-hypnosis. This was what I went through throughout the 4 days during my hand on the car in the Subaru Challenge. And of course, much more. So hypnosis can do a lot of wonders, provided you use it in the right way with the right intent. And pretty much, I hope this short little sharing have helped people to open up their eyes towards this word called hypnotherapy, hypnosis. It actually is the same thing. Just that people who do therapy sound more atas, right? More up class. So we call it hypnotherapist and hypnotherapy. But technically, hypnosis is like a layman term. So if I'm keen, what's next? Okay, what can I do to improve myself and to bring myself to the next level? Of course, first of all, you can look for a hypnotherapist, a hypno practitioner to go through coaching, some hypnotherapy program, and receive the good effect about what hypno can bring forth in your life. Or alternatively, number two, you can be a practitioner yourself. You can go and learn about the skill set, you can attend classes, get certified, and you can practice hypno on yourself and also with the loved ones. You can even be a therapist, a coach who help people change their life for the positive. Yeah. So I do have a very simple and a quick 2 days program. It's my 8th run that is on the 17th and 18th of September. It's a Friday and Saturday. Don't ask me why it's Friday and Saturday. It's designed for a reason like that. I'll explain to you when you come for the class. 2 full days, 9 to 6 p.m. And the venue is right in town. It's just next to City Hall, beside Raffles Hotel, right? And of course, 2 full days of face-to-face class, and more importantly, there are physical practice. Okay, so you will see, and I'm really happy that we are now in like a phase 3 relaxed alert or heightened alert, whatever you call it. Okay, so we can resume training and then getting bigger group into getting together, and such things you really need the physical touch, because there's some limitation in terms of what Zoom can do versus what physical class can bring forth. Yes, so this is the program I'm on now. Of course, it's a mixture. It's actually a component of my 4-in-1 program. It's a 9 days long program, but Hypno is 2 days long, right? And of course, right now for this very class, I have 2 more spots. So if you're interested, there'll be details later on, which you can actually contact me, and then I will just share with you. I'll give you a call, or one of my coach will give you a call and to tell you up. But very much just a very run through on what hypno practitioner or hypnotherapists know or go through during the courses. We learn about the prime directive. Now, remember the blue tree that we were thinking about. It's just one of the PD of the prime directive out of the 21. So there are 21 rules that the unconscious mind actually works on, giving you your emotion, and then once you understand it, you will let it work with you so well. Of course, storytelling, it is actually a hypnosis process in action. Okay, that's why people watch movie. It's like storytelling. Milton, we learned Milton Erickson. Sorry, it's called the Ericksonian hypnosis, which is by Milton, Dr. Milton Erickson. Yes, he's a doctor, and then the way he does his hypnosis is very gentle, very submissive, very, very passive. You don't even know that you're being hypnotized, but it is actually taking effect. Of course, yeah, we run through the stages, the suggestibility test, the hands being up and down. That's one of the tests. We're going through another 3 more. And of course, self-hypnosis, we do some belief tests going into the real world, and also really to put our hypnosis knowledge into action, and you will see real results happening in the course itself. And of course, what is hypnosis without pendulum? Right? So on the second day, we're going to talk about self-hypnosis, pendulum, and of course, graduating. Now, this is just a snapshot of what the program is all about. If you're interested, just leave your details behind, and one of my team members will give you a call over the next 3 to 4 days, and then we will be getting in touch. Now, very quickly, I've run program in Singapore, and some of these pictures are actually taken in Australia, because that's where I'm trained myself, and while I'm training there, I'm also undergoing training. So I actually certified trainer in Australia, and this is where a master trainer comes in. So you'll be learning from a trainer's trainer who actually knows what he is doing, and very much who've been through hypnotic state literally throughout his life. Okay, winning the car, winning the money. It's like I actually love playing game than working. So I'm actually having fun right now. Yeah. Doing hypnosis is one of my life goals. Yes. I really want to help people out there, and for especially those who can't get to sleep, those who can't get well, those who always feel sad, knowing that there is this part of their unconscious mind that's playing punk on in their life. Okay, so a very quick video of some of my students' review. Short one is about 4 minutes. Okay, just give me a while. Wow, let me share screen. Okay, good.
During this course, right, it allowed me to change the perspective of being more positive. So I kind of want to be more like him, that is able to overcome barriers with all the techniques that he teach within the course.
I was having some emotional, psychological issues on my own. I was in a very emotionally dark place, and I felt I needed to get myself out of it. And then Josh encouraged me to come and join TMS. And then now here, he's teaching me things that I can learn to help myself and eventually help others.
So I only know Josh recently, and he actually quit his 6-figure job to do this. So it is really, really important, this course, for everybody in this world. Josh knows the value of a community. So other trainers, maybe he teach you that's it, but with the community, this is ongoing. As he said, this is a lifestyle. It's not just a course.
From what I learned from his course, like I have a key and open a door of a new world. So kind of like I'm enlightened. So I think from what I learned, I utilize into my personal life. I think it changed in very aspect. So from my family, my career, and my relationship with my family members has been improved, and most importantly is I become happier.
Despite like some of us like working at home or working from office all this, so it's very tiring, but he still tried his best to make these lessons as interesting as possible and trying to gather the attention of everybody to make it more fun and interesting. And of course, his passion in this topic has really bring up the interest of peace and in life.
He's very determined and he's not pushy. Determined as a person, very authentic as a person. When I had lunch with him one or twice, I speak to him, so I realized that he's very, even though he disagrees with certain thing with me, he is very tactful. So you feel very comfortable. Actually, in fact, this is one of the reasons why I joined George initially when she said about this course. When he told me about hypnosis, one of the course, I was like, oh, what is that? What kind of good job is that? I Google search him also. But later part, I realized that he's really very, very real, very determined. That's one thing I like about his attitude.
I do feel they have some positive impact for me. I think sometimes I have some negative thoughts, but this can really push me to think positively and change the different mindset, and also understand why this happened and how it works. Although it's very short time, but I hope that I will get a lot of benefits later on.
Okay, so let me just get back to my slide. All right, I'm back. Okay, good. So that's just a very short little testimonial from some of my students. And you realize that it's actually a Zoom class. Why? Because this was done last year, during COVID, right? People who are twisty enough, you just got to change, and then your unconscious mind will be so amazing to push things that work things out for you. All right, so that's where we maximize our mind to get us the result that we want, despite different environment that we are always pushing to. Okay, so this is very much my last few slides already. If you find that tonight's sharing is really helpful and you are interested to know more about how to expand your mind, be it through coaching, through therapy, or even if you want to be a practitioner yourself so that you can use it in your own life and also to be able to help your friends, your loved ones, by all means, take the QR code, give it a scan, and then there's just a simple form that you have to fill up, and then someone from my team will be contacting you. Even myself will be calling you over the next 3 to 4 days, and just so to find out how we can help you, and also to see how we can move on from here. Because this is something that is it's a skill set that's been used since the 1500s, but because of the advancement in technology, it kind of like get a bit what I call unnoticed until someone brings it back, and it's actually utilized very well in sports, in business, in relationship, in presentation as well. So every presenter, we are always in a trance somehow. We can remove that as and when we want it, and actually install it back as and when we want it as well. Yeah, so this is, so if you still need 3 more seconds to take the QR code, I'm going to count down 3, 2, 1. Okay, now don't worry, if you missed it, I can always pump into the WhatsApp chat. Yeah. Yes, so for those of you who just want to connect with me on Facebook, on Telegram, I have a Facebook page. That's where I actually share every week through my TTT program on Tuesday night. And also there's a chat box in Telegram that I actually talk to my community. So like what Angelina said, she's one of my coach, one of the coaches that I actually train out. I start with a community, and I think community is the way to go. Just like how Veronica is keeping us together in this chat group. The way a person is put into any environment helps to shape their behavior and their thinking. And it is this unconscious process that's being in place and being enacted in a community environment that helps people to bring positivity together so that we all grow together. Okay, a loner will find it very hard to survive. When you're a community, when you're in a positive environment, you'll find it so much easier to find out the best you. So I believe in community. That's why I continue to connect with my people. Even if you're not my student, by all means, it's okay. We are here to help humans. So long as you're human, you got a mobile phone, just join the chat, and then you can always connect. The time may not be now. It could be tomorrow. It could be next year. It could be 2 years from now. Yeah. So I always believe there's a reason why we meet today, and the reason will only be known maybe somewhere down the road. Yeah. Because like Veronica and myself, we connected, I don't know what, 10 years ago, until we reconnected again on a very so that's you. Yeah, really surprised.
Yeah, it was actually 8 years ago. I went to learn NLP from and George was there as a volunteer, and we actually got to play some games during the NLP session. So at that time, during the NLP training, I actually also promoted my pillow. So a lot of the classmates actually bought my pillow.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where George remember me as a pillow woman.
Pillow woman, yeah. Then after I saw her on stage in Success Resource,
yes,
there's a lot of times that we connected. Yeah. And about talking about lunch, so Veronica and I, we had lunch together. Then we realized, hey, actually, yeah, we have known each other since 8-9 years ago.
Yes.
So you know how life always has a different way of bringing people together. Even if you miss that first time, don't worry, because our path will cross together. Because if you are fated, you are fated to meet. So I always believe
what happened was in early May, there was a healing festival, and George was a speaker there. So when I saw George, I knew that I met him, but I didn't. And until he called me, he said, "Do you want to come for the 1 hour free consultation?" Until I met him at Bedok, then I told him, "I know you because you came and volunteered for Caden." And
yeah.
He remembered me as a pillow woman. And so that's how we reconnected. And
that's
so
how we reconnected.
Organized this summit. I actually went to approach George. Do you want to be a speaker for our summit? And so that's how everything just fall in place. So I wanted to have 6 speakers. So it ended up with 10 speakers.
Amazing. So this is the power of community, like what Veronica has done. All she did was just took the first step out. She took the first step, and then the right-minded people will come into this community, and everything will just connect down the road. Now things happen for a reason. It's not by coincidence. Okay, I always believe in this the design that life brings forth in our life. So if you believe that we have affinity, we can grow together, connect with me, and I'll be more than happy to help you. And when you grow, you also help me grow, because my stage now in my life is really to see people be happy, be healthy. The world really needs so much more positivity, and like what Veronica is doing, helping people to sleep well, live well, drink well. This is very the same big mission that we are all on. It's just that we are doing it in different ways. Yes. And very great appreciation to Veron for bringing us together, because 10 speakers, all specializing in different fields, but we are all having the same mission, the same mindset.
And the same purpose.
Same purpose.
Yes.
Exactly.
So, I'm very grateful to George as well. He's so passionate during his presentation at the Healing Festival. And the other person that I met was Will who did the sound therapy.
Sound therapy, yes.
He connected them together for this summit. And in October is a mental day that we are going to organize another session. So look out for our October summit as well. Now,
Yeah.
any questions from the floor? Because we still have about 10 more minutes to go. Is there any question? Now, in the chat there, Cindy said she watched both the animated movie, but there is no impact. She did not experience any impact. Do you want to comment on that?
Okay. Let me see, Cindy. Okay, Cindy, I watched both though, but didn't have any impact. Now, the different people, now this is where you will realize that in the movie theater, for example, 200 people or maybe 50 people, different people have 50 people watching the same show will have 50 different emotions. Why so? Because our unconscious mind is built in a different way. That's why maybe you're not so emotional because you're a more conscious and a logical person, as compared to someone who cry. I watched Lion King, I also cry. No, you all know Lion King, that cartoon, the Simba, when he lost his father. Oh, I cried like shit. And then I thought, oh, George, big man ready to cry, but I'm emotional. And this is where I feel that since I'm emotional, no need to fight that emotional aspect. Go along with it and help people grow their emotion as well. Because when we talk about love, we talk about sleep. It's about this love and this respect that you have with your body, with your sleep, with your rest, so that you can really bring a person to the healthy life. So nothing wrong with that, Cindy. You're perfectly normal, and George is also perfectly normal. It's just that we use different part of our mind more. And if you realize, if you really want to utilize the untouched part of your mind, you may amazingly discover that, hey, you can actually do so much more, no, Cindy. So try working out on your unconscious part. Connect with me. We can actually come up with coffee. I love having coffee, or beer or drink or wine or whatever. Yeah, but it's really that one-to-one touch that helps people unearth so much more hidden potential inside. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to stop share here because I'm missing a few hands. This is actually my last slide, so I am going to stop share.
Resources are never the problem. The problem is what?
The state of resourcefulness. And the state of resourcefulness is actually an emotion. Okay, when you feel resourceful, it's a feeling. When you feel stuck, it's a feeling. When you feel stressed, it's a feeling. Instead of, so when you feel resourceful, right, you are going to look for all the answers that you need to solve the problem. So the problem is never the problem. The problem is you. You are the problem. When you can see the problem, when you can see the solution, your problem will be solved. That's how we end up in Zoom, right? I mean, this Zoom thing wouldn't happen if no one saw the problem of Zoom or pandemic. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to stop here. Is this my last slide? Yeah, this is my last slide already. Okay, I'm going to stop here so that I can see your hand, because I do see a couple of hands coming up. Cindy has raised up her hand. And
make use of this 1 hour free consultation by George, because it's very, very powerful. Even that can be life changing for you. You never know what's going to happen during that 1 hour. Don't underestimate that 1 hour. So go and connect with George and make use of that 1 hour to see whether you need more consultation eventually. All right.
Yep. So Walter asked, do I do consultation? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Although I prefer, my passion is still in training, because when I do one-to-one consultation, I benefit one person. But when I train practitioner who will then go out there and impact much more people. So it's just the magnitude of touch. Yeah, but I also do consultation because I find that it's important to touch the ground as well. And that's how I realize that people are still pulling out hair, especially during COVID. Now COVID, they work from home, people pull out hair. And then as they're working, they feel guilty because the kids are crying outside. And then I have moms that is like constantly hiding in the bedroom doing their work. And then the kids are fighting, but they cannot attend to the kids. So a sense of guilt while working hard in front of the computer. So I'm sure some of us feel that occasionally. It's normal. It's just normal.
Dilemma.
Yeah, dilemma.
Especially if you have an elderly parent at home and then
Exactly.
Children, you are being sandwiched in between. Sometimes within that 24 hours, you just don't know what is right, what is wrong. You just have to manage it.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Cindy, I see your hand. Xiong Chun, I see your hand. Just give me a while more. Let me just reply Huawei Nova. Okay, I don't know who is Huawei Nova. How do I bring unconscious mind to the surface without hypnosis? Is it possible? Okay, Huawei. The answer is no. The answer is no. You want to touch your unconscious mind, it is just a process of hypnosis. It's just that hypnosis is presented in our life in different form. Okay, people won't call it hypnosis. Some call it meditation. Some call it yoga. Some call it religion. Okay, some call it brainwash. Some call it meditation, mindfulness. I go for a run. When I go for a run, I actually let my unconscious mind go to work. So I go for exercise. People who do yoga, some of my friends who do yoga, they feel calm inside. These are all hypnosis because they connect with the unconscious mind already. Okay, you don't call it hypnosis, it's fine by all means, because I understand some religion don't like hypnosis. Let's just call it the focus, the state of focus. Yeah. It's just one time one yao. Yeah, it's just a changing of the terminology. I'm perfectly okay. But what we want is to see result. That is more important. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. Jocelyn, sometimes while listening to song, it seems to be talking to me. It is normal. Yes, it is normal because when you're listening to song, you're already hypnotized by the song. And song, literature, books, scripts, whatever, copywriting scripts. These are all very good hypnotic tools where to connect with a person's unconscious mind. That's why the lyrics of certain song is so powerful. And after 40 years, we can still remember the lyrics and the tune. Okay, it's amazing, but it goes deep down. Yeah, it goes deep down.
Yeah.
That's why some of the teachers they're actually teaching timetable in the song format. Like 1 × 1 is 1, 2 × 2 is 2. Then they actually carve a song out of it. Okay. Yeah, amazing. My kids teach me those songs.
Yeah.
Okay. Cindy, is this a question? You used to go for hypnosis therapy, but it's not working on you.
Yeah, I'm Cindy. I went probably more than 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I went for a couple of sessions, but it doesn't really work. So I guess as just now where some of the people have their hands not moved, there's a separation or gap. I guess the conscious mind are stronger than the unconscious.
At that moment, yes, you're totally
so that's
right.
why it's not working.
Okay.
It just like as per normal, like no impact. Even like I watched the show, which the two movie that I actually watching it at home, not in the theater. So I'm watching it at home, but I can understand like the anger is talking about, but it's just a show lor. It never talked to me much.
Okay, Cindy, don't mind if I ask you, just now during the exercise, right?
I did. I do have the gap, but then the gap for my right hand to go down is because it's tired.
Oh, okay.
So being honest.
Yeah, this is true. When you say you put a thick heavy dictionary, I mean, of course, when you listen it, you can hear that, you can feel that there's heaviness, but the tiredness of the hand is there as well.
Okay.
But for the
how about the left hand going up? Does it go up?
Lightness movement not so much because that the balloon might be too not strong enough to lift up my left hand.
Okay.
The helium
not enough.
But Cindy,
this is like one balloon, two balloons. But my hand is still the same same. It's still stationary. It's just that there's a gap, but the gap is descending. The angle is descending. It's my right hand actually went down.
Going down.
Partially is the heaviness of the dictionary.
Okay.
And then partially is my hand are tired. My hand is tired, so I went down.
Great. So that means that you are still able to feel that heaviness of the dictionary to some extent.
Yeah, because I was actually putting in a visualization where a thick book is being placed on my arm, on my hand. That's why it actually went down a little.
So when you consciously or you intentionally visualize the dictionary being placed on the right hand,
then your hand will go down. Yeah,
exactly. So this is where hypnosis will work for you.
It will not go down, but then tiredness also went down. You see.
So that's exactly what I'm trying to refer to. That my point here is this: the moment you allow your imagination to take over and let your hand feel the dictionary, well, logically it's not there, but we feel it, right? So that's where your unconscious mind is playing trick on you already. However, there are times where you want your unconscious mind to allow that trick to be played so that you get the happiness in your life, you get the result that you want. Sometimes you just need a bit of confidence for you to be able to achieve that big result. But because you're so consciously repressing that part of it, that's why a lot of our kids nowadays, now let's put it this way, I'm a true blue Singaporean. I grew up in this island called Singapore. We are a very qualification, academic-driven, focused country. Let's put it this way: touch our heart, touch our heart. If you don't have degree, you don't have postgrad, you don't have this, you don't have that, you are like that, lor. You are just normal Joe. But then there's this part there are people who refuse to take that consciously. They say, "Yeah, I'm an O-level dropout. So what? I still can do big things outside." Okay, look at Sheng Siong boss. Sheng Siong, you know Sheng Siong. He bought one, but he still do big business. During good times, during COVID time, he gives his staff 60-month bonus. Whereas smart people who get a pilot license go out of job, cannot fly.
Yes.
Okay, so that's where sometimes you have to let your unconscious mind just take over the body and do the right thing. It's about, because a lot of times conscious and unconscious is this very fine line, what we call the critical faculty line. Now, Cindy, I'm not saying that using the conscious mind or the unconscious mind is the right or wrong thing. However, when the hypno session doesn't work for you, it is not because the process doesn't work. It is because the person that you're working with doesn't have the right rapport. Just simple as that. Yeah. So
there's another question.
You can. Yes, please go ahead.
Sorry. The thought for patients who are schizophrenia or bipolar or in mental issue, are they advisable to do hypnosis to get the illness be recovered?
Very good question.
We are always on the medication, you see.
Very good question. Now, I do work with clients who told me that they are working, also they are seeing a psychiatrist.
Yes.
So this is where okay, I hope I'm not, are there any doctors in the room? Okay, anyway, if there are doctors, so I'm not here to talk bad about doctors. But so when my client tell me that they're seeing a psychiatrist, this is where I tell them, okay, I think you should continue seeing the doctors, because a therapist is not here to replace doctor. On the contrary, we are here to work hand in hand. Because let's put it this way, how often do you see a psychiatrist? Maybe once every 3 months. And then every time you go,
every month.
Wow, so if it's every month, the thing is, for me seeing my client, I do it sometimes once a week or even twice a week. It's between that doctor's visit, right? You need to know how well the client or the patient is actually moving on in their life. So the therapist is not to replace the doctor, but to complement the gaps that are in between. A doctor cannot see you 1-2 hours. The doctor don't have such time. If you see a doctor 2 hours, you probably will spend like $5,000. Okay, because the doctors work on issuing medicine. This is how they earn money. Okay, whereas a therapist, we don't rely on medicine. In fact, our objective is to let the client. Now, when I see people, they are not patient. They are not my patient. Because I'm not a doctor, they are not my patient. I'm a coach, they are my coachee, or I'm a therapist, they are my client. So we do things that help to shift their mindset so that eventually they can wean off the medicine and allow natural things to happen in their life the natural way, instead of always popping medicine, supplements, nutrient, whatever you call that, through the artificial way. Okay, because we are into this alternate healing world. I'm not saying that medicine is no good. Sometimes we need medicine. I also take medicine sometimes. But if you want medicine to be like perpetually 100% in your life, I would suggest maybe you want to reconsider that thought. Because there are other things that can totally replace medicine, like a healthy lifestyle. When you eat well, sleep well, eat proper, why would you need medicine to be a part of your life, right? So it's just a food for thought.
Yeah. Okay. Medicine are all poison. Yeah. Third question, the first one. It's already 8:34.
1 minute. 1 minute.
Okay, go ahead.
What's the difference between like yourself compared to the counselors or occupational therapists? You know.
Very good question. Good question. So as a coach, I am not medically bounded by any directive. So this is where some of my words that I tell my clients, right? I know this is something that they want, but it's been repressing them. And it is because exactly of this repression that's causing them the schizophrenia, the depression, the thing. It's like, okay, as a counselor, when you tell them that, they may tell you it's the wrong thing to do. But I do have clients that come to me and say that, hey, George, I hate my mom. They tell me that I hate my mom. And then I ask them why. I don't.
You hit the nail.
Yeah. So this is exactly because when they tell me they hate my mom, they cannot tell that to the counselor. It's morally and ethically not correct to hate your parents. But it is exactly this repression of this moral value that is causing them to lose sleep, lose whatever. So I'm not saying that it's right to hate your mom, but let's recorrect it and look at it from another angle to see how we can resolve this. We are not here to find out who's right and who's wrong. We are here to get result for the person so that he can sleep well at night. That's all. Yes. That's all. And this is where I help people to attend to their own values and whether their values is attuned to the environment. Okay, so it's really and this is where coaches come in very, very artistically beneficial. There is no set directive or medical rules that we need to follow because we are not bounded by the doctors. The medical board cannot take away my license because I'm not even a doctor to start things off. But this is where I work with the doctors, with the psychologists, with the counselor to see that, okay, this is where after this session, I realized that you have this hidden issue. You might want to talk about this with your psychiatrist to see if they can do anything. If not, we'll continue our alternate session so that you can continue eating the medicine, don't stop there, but you can address what is exactly causing this depressional challenge or mindset or problem.
What is the root cause?
Yeah,
that's why in this summit now we have light key therapy. We also have a psychologist, Adrian. We also have an emotion therapist, and now we have a hypnotherapist. So this coming Saturday will be very interesting. We have the whole panel will be around in Zoom, so you can actually get them to compare with each other how they actually one person. So some people might connect more to the light key, some people might connect more to hypnotherapy, some people might connect more to a psychologist, because when Adrian shared, it's more about parenting. So he actually go into the house to check with the parents what is the cause of this child's psychological problem. He is more connected to fathers. That's why he came up with Dads for Life, you know, that kind of. Then we have the emotional therapist. She is actually a transformologist. So it's something very specialized as well. So that's why it all depends on who you can resonate with and which you can resonate with and which one solve your problem. The most important thing, we want result. We don't.
Yes.
We want result, not just relying on medicine. That is the whole.
Yes.
That's why the whole summit comes together. You get even learn about diet. Don't go against.
Yes.
Eat rice. Why go against rice? You know, eat. Not right. You know, everything is about balance. Okay.
Exactly.
We have to close. It's already very late. So I'm going to share it again. Yeah. So again, I'm going to repeat the same thing. So those who haven't come to Adelphi for your acugraph analysis, do come. From your 10 fingers and 10 toes, we can analyze your 12 meridian point and come for the free therapy as well and bring your water for test. And don't live in a geopathic, stress, toxic home. It can affect your health, it can affect your wealth, it can affect your relationship. So now we are doing free audit for you. Send your floor plan to us. If you are living in a HDB flat, just go to HDB website and pay $5 to get a floor plan. And with that floor plan, we can audit what is the amplitude of your geopathic stress. All right, it's for free until Saturday. Now,
okay, thank you.
Our Facebook group, Wellness for Good Energy. If you miss any of the session, all the recorded webinars are all inside there. You can go and rewatch. On Monday, it was a very interactive, engaging session with Ujiwala. So this is my WhatsApp number, 86939472. If you want to book appointment with us, our recharge center is at Adelphi B137. So the whole group, the whole team, the whole panel of speakers is all working towards one direction, create a world full of healthy and wealthy people. Only when you're healthy, you can be wealthy. All right. Now, on Saturday, please block your calendar. It's at 7 p.m. sharp. We are very privileged to have Dr. Darren Chua, who is going to be very inspiring. He's going to share about what? Creating sustainability in pursuit of wellness. All right. So don't miss his session because he himself is a stroke survivor. He himself overcome depression. He himself overcome his own emotion to be able to become an inspirational speaker. So don't miss his session. He's going to really, really inspire you right from the beginning of his sharing, just for that half an hour. You are going to have sleepless night after that, right? How a person who is so down can pick himself up to become an international motivational speaker. So that is our sharing, and we will have all the 10 speakers on Saturday. So every one of them will do their closing address, and then we end the summit. Thank you very, very much, George, and thank you.
Thank you.
See you again on Saturday.
Thank you.
All of you, thank you very much for your patience, your perseverance, and really your attendance 3 times a week for the last, this is the 4th week, yeah? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jess. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for attending, and thanks, Veronica, for inviting me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Josh. You have been very passionate. Yes, we work with passionate people. Thank you very much.
Thank
So
you.
good night, everybody. Sleep well, and I see you on Saturday. All right.
Thank you, George. Good night.
Thanks, Ellen. Thank you. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.